Hello everyone and welcome to my TED Talk. I want to start this TED Talk by asking you some questions. First of all, I want you to close your eyes and think. How many pieces of clothing you have on your wardrobe? How many of that clothes that you have you are using? Which ones did you buy it because you need it or because you were just following a trend? How many of these pieces of clothing that you own are still useful on your daily life? So, the reason I decided to do this research was because I made these questions to myself. I questioned myself, took a moment, sat down and asked, do I really use all of these clothes? What damages is these clothes producing on the environment? Because I don't have one or two or three t-shirts. I have 30 t-shirts. I have 5 to 10 pants. And this is a lot of clothing that I don't use, that I don't give it the use that it should be, and then probably I just bought it because it was a trend. So today's topic is fast fashion. And to start to talk about fast fashion, we have to go back through history and understand where this fashion begins. In the late years, fashion was created by getting a piece of material, either wood or leather, and constructing a piece. This process took days and hours, so it was not easy to manufacture. So clothing was made from a really good quality materials and designed and manufactured, and then it was used for many times. Nowadays, what happens with fashion, and especially fast fashion, is that brands like, for example, Inditex, take a single piece that they saw on a catwalk that is going to be trend, and they try to put it on their stores as quickly as possible. What do I mean with this? They don't care about the manufacture of the piece, the materials, and the quality that is used, and the ethical and impact environmental that is going to have. Because this massive production of clothing and cheap production of clothing, of course, is going to have an impact environmental. What do I mean with this? Fashion industry is one of the more contaminated industries in the world. It's positioned as the second industry that contaminates more water. To make a gram of water, of cotton, you need at least 10,000 liters of water. So the use and waste of water for making piece of clothing and this massive manufacture is incredible. We are damaging our planet and killing our oceans. All the chemicals used for the creation of these textiles is going through the oceans, meaning that 20% of the contamination and damage that the ocean has is provided from the fashion industry. But how we should say goodbye to fast fashion? Why we should say bye to fast fashion? This practice is unethical. There's plenty of fabrics that produce massive amounts of clothes, and they don't care about the health of the people who is producing and manufacturing these clothes. This is really dangerous for all the people that is making it, and it can be really harmful to their health and the money that they're receiving. The money that they're being paid is a really small amount. But this is not the end of the world. You as the consumer has the opportunity to change this. Because if we don't consume in a massive way, the production is not going to be in a massive way. What do I mean with this? If we stop consuming fast fashion, if we say goodbye to fast fashion, and take a moment to think and make a decision about what piece of clothing we are buying, we're going to be more conscious about not only the planet but about other people's life. Fast fashion wants to give this opportunity and easy access to people to have and wear the same clothes as celebrities. But what are the alternatives of fast fashion? Number one, we have the thrifting or buying secondhand. This option is one of my favorite. I honestly started doing this the last year, and I also learned how to modify some pieces of clothing by learning how to sew and also repairing old pieces of clothing. So by buying by secondhand, you are giving a second life to a piece of clothing that someone else doesn't use anymore. We also have the sustainable fashion or fashion sustainable, that the materials used in this piece of clothing are sustainable and are friendly with the planet. Companies like H&M, that is a brand that is one of the biggest brands of fast fashion, is starting to recycle almost all of the materials that they use and creating new pieces and selling them on stores. This is a great alternative. So when you buy a piece of clothing, you first ask, do I really need it? Why do I need it? Is the quality of this piece of clothing is going to last? And after that, you can check the materials that is made of and be more conscious about what you are buying. And the third alternative that I bring to you is to exchange or repair your clothes. So by saying this, you can grab a group of friends and be like, hey, I exchanged you my pants for your t-shirt that I really like. Or start repairing your clothes. That will be really helpful also. So after all of this, I'm talking about the impact and why you should say goodbye to fast fashion. I really hope that the next time you are thinking to buy a piece of clothing, you think to yourself and ask, do I really need this? Because remember, us as consumers have the opportunity to stop this damaging phenomenon, and it's in our hands to make the change. So if we all change our mindset, we are going to see results not only on our society but on our environment. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this TED Talk.